Hello, my lovely YouTubers. I hope you can see this because this is the very last slide. There we are, that's what I was looking for. I made a video earlier this afternoon saying, you know, we don't do very much work at this time of year. And I was feeling a bit smug about how good my horses looked. And I realised, after I stopped filming, that we did need to do a little bit more work because Florence, I'm afraid to have to tell you, slightly forgot her manners. And the thing is, that's my fault. I had let things slide. I had let there not be much work. And although I always say you're teaching your horse something every moment you're with them, whether you're catching them or grooming them or feeding them, I think because she is so young in worldliness, that I'd kind of thought it was a little bit adorable that she's a tiny bit of a mischief. And I always say be careful with what words you use. And I'd started using mischief even though, for instance, I won't allow the word naughty in this field. Because I always think if a horse does something you don't want it to, it's not being naughty, it's generally trying to tell you something, or it's doing something that you have inadvertently taught it. So I'd started acting towards her as if she was this little mischievous person who could get away with stuff. And then what happens is that the boundaries get very fuzzy. And horses, I believe, hate fuzzy boundaries. I think they like certainty. And I think they like knowing that there are lines they don't cross. If you watch them with a lead mare, that's how she makes them feel safe, I think. And obviously I'm always learning and I may change my mind about that. I've changed my mind about quite a lot since I started horsing. But I do think boundaries are important. And I'd let mine get wobbly. So she didn't quite know where she was emotionally. So we've just been out and we've re-established very firmly, very gently, a few little boundaries. And now look at her. Yes, good girl. There's a nice lick in a chew. There's a release. She's standing nice and still under her own steam, which is what we like. She's very focused on me. And she kind of knows where she stands again, almost literally and certainly metaphorically. And there's just one other thing I'd started to do is, I used to not hand feed at all, and now I do like giving them treats. We get some lovely sugar-free, super healthy, minty treats. But I think she'd started to expect that she was going to get a treat every time she saw me. And that's, again, where boundaries can get fuzzy. So I'm going to go back and be a little bit... Sorry, I'm just looking because there's a car. Don't know who it is. I'm going to get a little bit more, shall we say, Mary Poppins. I quite like Mary Poppins as a role model. You know, full of love and wisdom, but spit spot. And there, look. Now she's not skittering about and worrying about anything. She's got her boundaries back. So we did the work. And it's had a very happy result. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Let it all out. Good girl. There's a nice release. That's what I like. So often when they yawn and stretch and like that, that's because there's been some little tension inside, a little bit of anxiety. So I breathe and we all let it out. There we go, and she's wondering what Clovey's doing. There you go. I'll stand here for a bit longer now because there's still a tiny little bit of tension in her, and I want to get her to release all that before I let her go. But it's boring for you and the light really has gone. Anyway, I just wanted to give you that and I hope it's useful. And good night from Florence and good night from me.